Hey there, I'm SaveState. Recently, you might have seen this video on Twitter of me, where in a minute, I display the math of this. The honey chunk. A symbolic project that's never actually meant to be finished due to the insane scope that it brings. In that video, I used math to build the physical models of everything in terms of resources that you would need in order to build this thing. Well, I figured why not go ahead and make a longer video explaining that math out, because I showed the numbers, but I didn't really get into how I got to those numbers. First, let's start off with the honey chunk. I built this water elevator to show you how long it gets. Once I step in, I will leave a timer on screen so you can see how long it takes. This is faster than flying, remind you. This is 16 by 16 by 256, the maximum amount of blocks that you can put in. 16 by 16 by 256, simple, 65,536 blocks. Now, this project will be more insane once 1.17 drops, because there'll be an additional 64 layers to add to that. As you can see, this is going to be no easy feat. Allow me to just jump off. 360. In order to find how many chests you need to know the amount of items you can hold. A chest has 27 slots, 9 by 3, and each slot can hold up to 64 items, especially since we're dealing with blocks. If you multiply these together, you get 1,728 items. If you divide the total amount of blocks that can fit in a chest, 1,728, into the amount of blocks in a chunk, which is, as we've said before, 65,536, you get 37.925 repeating, which is the amount of chests, basically equaling 38 chests with 2 slots left over for blocks. I don't plan on speaking in double chests here, but I will leave the numbers up on screen as it's a simple divide by 2. Because honey blocks are made up of 4 bottles, you need 4 times as much space in order to fit them. If you multiply the 37.925 of storage space we got earlier for chests, you get 151.703, which leads you to this wide array of chests, leaving you with 8 slots left over to hold all of the bottles. What's the second problem? Honey bottles only stack up to 16, meaning that since it's only a fourth of normal storage, to make up for it, we need to quadruple it once more. Multiplying 151.703 by 4 again gives you 607 chests with an additional 5 left over. Exact numbers on the screen. Now, we clearly need a lot of materials to build this thing, but let's go into the honey gathering process. This is a bee's nest. Bees' nests contain up to 3 bees. Hey guys, SaveState here. I'm cutting in during editing because it turns out I did my numbers wrong. Let me explain my basic mistake. Originally, I believed that it took 2 minutes for a bee to make honey. This isn't necessarily wrong. It is the time it takes for a bee to pollinate a flower and return to the hive. However, I thought that this was enough to make a honey bottle. It actually requires this process to happen 5 times. The original process takes 2 minutes, meaning that it takes about 10 minutes to make a bottle of honey, meaning all my original numbers need to be multiplied by 5. Take the original number of bottles, which is 262,144, multiply it by 2 for the amount of minutes, and 5 for the amount of levels, or just simply multiply by 10 to get 2,621,440 minutes in order to harvest all this honey. Now, for this example, we will be using a single bee nest with 3 bees in it, but in order to decrease this number significantly, you'd need to add more bees. Dividing this number by 3, we get 873,813 and a third minutes. If we divide this by 60, we get 14,563 and 5/9 hours. Divide this number by 24 to get the amount of days, and the number you come out to is 606.814 repeating, which is about 20 and a quarter 30-day months. I don't need to tell you what that is in years. And now that that's been cleared up again, sorry for my bad math earlier, back to the video. Simply put, we need 4 chunks of sand, or 262,144 bottles. Speaking simply in terms of sand, there is no way to reduce this unless you had, say, a witch farm. In terms of crafting, glass and bottles have a ratio of 1:1. If you put in 3 glass blocks, you'll get in 3 glass bottles, meaning that our number of 262,144 is completely accurate. When it comes to smelting in Minecraft, the 2 most efficient things to use are coal blocks and lava. Lava is great because it not only smelts 100 items, but it's also a single item. Whereas coal will only smelt 80, but considering it's made up of 9 blocks of coal, which each make 8, you're saving yourself a piece of coal per. So why am I going with coal when I could simply use a large foundry of lava? Unlike coal blocks, lava doesn't stack. It takes approximately 51 stacks of coal blocks in order to smelt all of this sand, but you could fit that in a double chest. Whereas lava is single use and only smelts 100 items. So you need to constantly be taking the bucket out as well, making it much harder to put in an auto smelter. You would need 2,622 buckets of lava in order to smelt all of this sand. And while that is a lot less than the 3,277 blocks of coal that you'd need in order to smelt all of this, here's the issue. Since, again, lava does not stack, you would need a little over 97 chests just to hold all of the lava. And I mean, I've already gotten enough chests on my hands, let's be real. Fun fact, these 51 stacks of coal blocks are made up of approximately 29,491 bits of coal, which individually would be over 460 stacks. Now, assuming you're using a basic auto smelter setup with one furnace, multiply the amount of sand you need to smelt by 8, since it takes about 8 seconds to smelt, to get a whopping 2,097,152 seconds. Simplified, that's 34,952.53 minutes, 582.542 hours, 24.273 days, or about 3.468 weeks for all of that to smelt. Now again, it requires a lot of chests in order to hold all of this honey, which means you need to go hunting for all of that wood too, meaning that you'd need approximately 19 stacks of logs, since you'd have to break it all down into planks. Now finally, let's get to the easiest part of this build. You may have been wondering why this has been here. I didn't even explain it in the fast little video I showed earlier. Well, this is what you need to break. Now, let's assume that you start digging at Y level 60, and the first 4 layers are entirely made of nothing but dirt. It takes approximately 0.15 seconds to dig up 1 piece of dirt with an iron shovel. If you multiply this by the volume of these 4 layers of dirt, which is 16 by 16 by 4, giving you about 1,024 blocks, you get 153.6 seconds to delete this whole thing, or about 2.5 minutes. But the dirt, that's the easy part. That's the real easy part. The hard part is all the stone you gotta break. Assuming there's nothing but stone, no caves, no ores, for the next 56 16 by 16 layers, which is approximately 14,336 blocks. It takes approximately 0.4 seconds to break stone with an iron pickaxe, so if you multiply those together, you'd get 5,734.4 seconds, which is about 95.573 minutes, or 1.593 hours of just mining. So, why do I want to do this? Well, it simply started off as a joke, a what-if scenario, a funny bit, because, I'm a bear. But I think that the honey chunk has a much deeper meaning to it, at least personally. It's sort of a sign of a project that will never be finished. Something so insurmountably difficult that it will likely never come to fruition in a legitimate manner. If it ever gets done, I think that's going to be kind of funny, because it's really a nothing project. At the end of the day, congratulations. You've gotten nothing done. You've spent days, weeks, months of your life filling a fictional world with an exorbitant amount of honey, which isn't even that good of a food item. Like, it only restores 3 shanks of hunger. God forbid it has like 0 saturation to it. It can remove poison, but how often do you get poisoned and you can just tank it? It's not like it kills you. Maybe I just want to flex my ability to use a calculator. Who knows? If I ever actually get this thing done, it's gonna be a special day. Who knows? Maybe I'll dedicate something to it. But for now, I'm pretty content. I'm pretty content knowing that nobody else is crazy enough to attempt this in survival. So that being said, thank you all for watching. GG to all, and to all good night. Poise off, everybody. If you enjoyed my ability to crunch numbers, hey, why don't you click over there? you know, why don't you click over there? That's the most recent video I uploaded. Probably changed since I uploaded this, but I mean, hey, it's new content. And if you click over there, you'll find a video that the algorithm has decided you wanted. Hey, as an extra special little treat, click right down here and you'll see the last time I tried to attempt to do this. And, you know, right up here in the center, it's a button to subscribe to me. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.